It's time for me to tell all. This is why I left Compass. Today I am talking about a topic that has been very relevant to my life for the past couple of months because I've been in a new brokerage getting set up. I finally made the switch to the real brokerage. It has been a great switch for me so far, and I am a super advocate of other real estate agents doing it as well. So today I'm going into the details about specifically why I left Compass to go over to the real brokerage. Before we get started, I do need to caveat this with, these are all my own opinions. These are my own experiences. I'm not making any representations of what anyone else thinks or says or does. This is all from my own experience about what I went through at Compass. Taking you back a little bit, brief history, I was part of a small boutique brokerage that I absolutely loved called Avenue Properties that got acquired by Compass about 5 years ago. I believe it was in 2018. So I came over to Compass as a part of Avenue Properties. I was not an individual agent selling that got recruited to Compass, so my experience is a little bit different than a lot of other people's who may have been recruited by Compass. That said, I was also at the beginning of my career. I was only selling real estate for about 2 years prior to coming over to Compass. I don't know if I would have been recruited as a solo agent if I were not at Avenue Properties, so my experience is different. It's what I experience. I'm not gonna say it's super unique, but it is what I experienced. Here are the reasons I'm gonna go through today about why I made the switch from Compass. First and foremost, let's just get it out of the way. The money. The money is a big reason that I made the switch. The second reason is the marketing. Honestly, the marketing at Compass became an issue for me. The third reason was how each agent is treated differently at Compass. I'm gonna go into more detail about that. And then fourth and final, all of the amazing new opportunities for income at the real brokerage and the community there are super important to me and something that I wanted to be a part of. So that's what we're gonna go through today. I'll give you all of the dirty details. The first reason that I left Compass for real is because of the money. At Compass, you're on a split. Now, I was always on a split. I think Compass has different caps for different agents, and this takes me to point number 3 about how every agent is treated differently, but Compass has a variation of different payment models. The split that I was on, I believe since I started, maybe the first year I was not on this. I might have been on a cap my first year because I wasn't producing enough, but once you produce enough or sell enough homes, you actually move to this split where you're on the same percentage split or the whole entire year. No matter how many deals you do, no matter how many homes you sell, you pay a certain percentage to Compass. So for example, let's just say you're paying 20% of your commission to Compass for the whole entire year. That wasn't my split. I'm not using that as a real life example. I'm just giving you a hypothetical so you understand what I'm saying. So whether I sold 10 homes or 50 homes, I was going to pay Compass 20% over the year. As I started to build a team, as I started to be able to sell more homes thanks to my amazing clients, that became a big number that I was paying Compass every year. Did I have support in the office through an amazing managing broker? Yes. Did I have a great, cool, chic office space? Yes. Did I get access to a printer? Did I have meeting rooms to utilize? Yes and yes. Those were all great things. I had parking at the office. Those were all really great things. I wasn't paying any sort of desk fee. I wasn't paying any other fees other than this split, which also includes a marketing split. So you're paying not only the split to Compass, but you're paying a marketing or resource fee, they call it. So you are paying that on every single transaction. That started to become a huge number to the point where I could have rented my own office space with that amount of money. I could have had my own staff on my team that could do marketing for me. I could hire a legal counsel for that money. You know, there were so many other things that I could have done with that money that it started to not make sense for me and my business to be paying that money to Compass. I was not seeing the value out of being part of Compass for that amount of money. And this was a personal decision, you know, it's business for me, and it's important for me to think about, where is my money going? You know, I like to invest a lot of money back into my business, and it didn't make sense for me to be giving that much money away to Compass. Now, on top of that, during my last couple of years at Compass, I started to be told, you know, that office space was going to be limited, or that my team couldn't use certain areas in the office, and that we would have to be in the main room instead of, you know, expanding our private office space, which all of these things, you know, looking back on it, it's fine, but it is a little unsettling when, you know, in that office, I was one of the highest producers. You know, I did a pretty good job. I was there quite often. I had a team that was there quite often. And to be told like, oh, your payment isn't going down, but you're going to be more limited in what you're allowed to use, was not a great thing and not a great feeling for me. So I didn't really love hearing that, and I didn't love seeing that from the company, and, you know, just feeling a little bit less valued, even though I was still paying the same amount of money. It just felt a little bit icky to me, and I didn't really like that. So that was the first reason that I left Compass. I think that it is so expensive. Of course, they do have a great brand. They have national recognition. It's amazing. Like, that is important, I think, but it's only important to a certain point. And for me, that wasn't important enough to continue to pay them that amount of money. So for me, Real is an amazing fit because the cap is much less. The cap is $12,000 per year. You also have stock benefits that you can get at Real, and there are many other benefits, which I'm going to go into a little later, about why Real is a great brokerage. Now, also at Real, I don't have office space. It's all virtual. All the trainings are virtual. My team now works virtually. And so it is a bit different, right? There are resources that we're not using that Compass was providing. And that's very, very different. So it's to each person their own choice, you know, and what they want to do. But for me, it made more sense to save money, work virtually, and have different benefits for the way that my business was going and how I wanted to run it. If you are at a bigger company, I would highly encourage you to think about how much money you're spending and what you're getting back for that. For me, it was not enough to justify the amount of money that I was paying. Diving into the second reason that I left Compass for Real was the marketing support. At Compass, the big sell when I first joined was that there was going to be a marketing team who would help us with all of our marketing collateral. They would create postcards for us. You could use their social media templates. You could have anything custom designed that you wanted. There would be a dedicated marketing person assigned to you to help you with your marketing. Over the years, as we progressed, that marketing team changed super frequently. So there was not a lot of continuity in who you were working with. I think that marketing team got much smaller from what I heard. I never really knew how many people were on the marketing team. They started to centralize their operations into one, you know, support email that you could email to get projects done. The projects were not done very quickly, and just in general, there was a lack of strategic support. I think the biggest sell at the beginning was, oh, we're going to give you strategic support on your marketing. You know, they had marketing managers coming from SoulCycle and these other brand name companies that they were selling to us as people who could help us strategize about making our marketing even better for our clients. And that expectation did not really become a reality for me specifically. I didn't feel like there was a whole lot of strategy. There wasn't a whole lot of support. And remember, this whole time I was paying that marketing resource fee to them to have this support. And so as that started to fade away, as the custom projects turned into just templates because it would take too long to turn around, or they didn't have the right people in the right places to do those jobs, it just became less and less impressive. And honestly, it became less worth my money or even my time to go to a marketing person who didn't know anything about me or my brand and try to re-explain what I was trying to do each time I wanted something created. My preference with the money that I've saved from leaving Compass is to have someone full-time on staff who knows me, who knows the business, who knows what we're strategically trying to accomplish and can help us get there. On top of that, this person reports to me. And so I get to determine the timeline of when the projects are turned around, which is super important in real estate because oftentimes there are quick deadlines when you're working with a seller to get their home on the market. So the marketing for me just didn't really stand up to what I expected for the amount of money I was paying and for what was originally promised. The marketing is still great. I'm not gonna say anything bad about Compass's marketing. I think they do a great, fantastic job. There's obviously amazing design and a lot of thought put into their overall brand. I just was not feeling the same marketing support or design for my personal business, which is what I'm obviously more concerned with. I'm less concerned with the Compass national brand than I am with my own business. And so for me, it just didn't make sense because the marketing support I was getting was not actually beneficial to what I needed at the time. For me at Compass, it felt like eventually every agent was treated differently. If you're in the industry already, you probably know that based on how much production you do as an agent, how many homes you sell, Compass would come in and offer you a different type of package in order to join Compass. So you may get thousands of dollars in marketing budget. You might get a bunch of stock awarded to you, but they had big, heavy incentives for high producers to come over to Compass. Obviously, me coming from Avenue Properties, I never got any of that. I was never awarded any of that. But even when I continued to produce at a higher level each year at Compass, I was not given additional rewards. I actually had to negotiate with Compass really difficultly to get any money at all from them when they were over here giving, you know, what I heard was hundreds of thousands of dollars to agents just to come on board. And so to me, that didn't really feel fair. In addition, every agent split at Compass is different. Like I mentioned before, some agents were on a cap model, some were on a percentage split for the whole year. There was not a lot of continuity between agents and not everyone was really treated the same in what they were paying. This, I think, led to a lot of confusion. It led to a lot of people feeling like they were inferior to others because you would have different splits and different packages that you were getting to come over, and then looking at new people joining and thinking, wow, why are they getting that and I never got that? So there was a lot of, I would say, unequal treatment of agents just based on what they could negotiate with Compass, what they got coming into the business, and then what they had to do to continue that over time, continue what they got from Compass, because you could renegotiate your contract every year. That said, going into Real, everyone is exactly the same. You are either a team leader or you're on a team split, or you're an individual agent on that split. No one has a different type of split based on what you do. It's all exactly the same. Everyone's on an equal playing field. And I do think that contributes to the sort of family culture that Real has. Work hard, be kind. Like everyone is all working towards the same thing and all on the same page. So that just became for me kind of a sticking point, you know, of not feeling like my business was necessarily valued as much as the person next to me, or maybe it was valued more than the other person next to me. And that just felt a little bit odd and unequal. And so that really didn't fit with the way that I wanted to do business. And so that's my third reason that I left Compass. Last but not least, the fourth reason I left Compass for Real was all about the new opportunities and the community at Real. So at the Real Brokerage, not only are you part of this amazing agent community that is growing super quickly, but there are a ton of new opportunities for income. And this is something as an entrepreneur I love thinking about and I love talking about, because at Real, of course, you can build your downline so you can recruit agents that join Real under you and you can profit from them in Real's model. That's a great opportunity for income. It's also a great opportunity to bring new agents in and mentor them and help them get acquainted with the business or Real as a brokerage. But there's also so many other opportunities in Real because the trainings are so vast. There are so many entrepreneurial minded agents at Real. I've been super impressed with all of the different trainings, from YouTube to how to build a team, to how to make your clients feel super special, to how to invest your money. There are so many different things at Real and training specifically that give you a wide range of options on how to explore and diversify your income as an entrepreneur. So I love Real because I think that a lot of the agents there are not just agents selling, but they're agents thinking about themselves as an entrepreneur as a whole and how they themselves are becoming a business and a brand. And I love that. I love thinking about that. I love surrounding myself with people like that who I can learn from. On top of that, Real has an amazing community. I was just exposed to a lot of Real agents through the Tom Ferry network prior to joining, and I was always impressed by what they were doing, the way they were growing their businesses, but also their community. And so that was a big reason that I left Compass as well, is I wanted to be back in this community feel. I wanted to learn from other agents across the nation. I will say my last couple of years at Compass, I didn't spend a lot of time in their training, but a lot of the training is regionally focused. There's not a lot of national trainings where you're hearing from a lot of different brokers across the country. Whereas in Real, you're actually hearing from every week, basically, you hear from agents across the country. So you get a really broad scope of what's going on, not only in real estate, but like I said, what they're doing to expand their businesses as a whole beyond real estate to other revenue streams. And I think that's super cool and a great value that Real provides. And I'm super happy to be part of that community. So there you have it. Those are the top 4 reasons that ultimately drove me to leave Compass and join the Real brokerage. You know, it was a hard decision, but I really think in the end, you make the decision that's probably best for you as an individual. Like I said, these are all my own experience. They're not anything else that anyone experienced or told me. This is all my perception of what happened and how I felt. And that's ultimately what drove me to make this decision to leave Compass and go to the Real brokerage. And I'm super happy. I couldn't be more excited about what's ahead for the company and how I'm going to be able to grow in this company. If you do want to talk a little bit about what Real has to offer or about leaving your current brokerage, feel free to leave a comment or direct message me. I'm always more than happy to help and tell you about my experience if you have other questions. Thanks so much for tuning in.